It'll be right between the eyes.
Gimmicks, setups, techs, and everything cool. It's time to level up. Loving with Razor. Hello guys, Smooth Razor once again. Today I'm going to be showing you some ways of dealing with Sheeva Stomp. First, I'm going to show you the front walking that three characters in the game can do to avoid all like timing of her stomp. Then we'll go to the two-step, which just involves dashing twice to cover the delayed and the quick option. Then the third thing I'm going to show you guys here is teleporting, characters that can teleport to get away. I'm also going to show you wave dashing, protective specials, using set play to counter her stomp, a lot of things. So now let's get into this video. And also please, you should know that for the Sheeva stomp that can be directed, you have to make a read on them if they're going to direct it or not. Why there are some characters that can get out of all scenarios of her stomps, you have to make reads through too on which particular one they're going to do, so at times. But let's get into it. Now, this is an important property of the stomp you have to know. The stomp is fastest come out to 64 frames, the slowest is 94 frames. So in between they can release it at any moment, meaning there is a 40 frame of variation, like variants in which they can release it. So you can't be really sure. That's why not all characters can like just walk out of it by doing one dash then second dash, because if they release it in between, they are going to clip you. Get what I'm saying? For instance, if they release a 70 frame stomp, it's going to clip you while trying to like option select 64 frame stomp and the 94 frame stomp. That's something I also took had in mind while making this video. Number one, I have the gifted front walkers. Those are Jade, Merida, and Scarlet. What this means is that these three characters can evade any timing of the Sheeva stomp, whether it be the 64 frame, the 72 frame, 80, whatever, 94 frame maximum, just by holding forward when you've seen the Sheeva player going up. These three characters can always walk out of it, as you can see on these clips. So these are good characters to use against a Sheeva player that doesn't have the directable version equipped and just the ordinary version, because each time you're going to be able to walk away. And now move on to the two steps. Two steps is just a way of moving to cover both the most popular 64 frame and 94 frame. That's the fast one version, the most long delayed version. All you do is step back a little. If the first one do not come, you step back again. You have to press it to get the timing down. But in this video, I'm going to be doing a lot of this with dashing instead of walking, because at times dashing is very consistent. All you have to do is dash back once, then dash back again, or forward. There are some characters that can only do it forward because their back dashing isn't good, while there are some characters that just have to walk. So to save us some time, I'm going to show some examples of some characters doing it, then just make a list of other characters and what they can do, if they assist forward, backwards, or none, and we'll go from there into the next step. Shang Tsung is a character that both his backward and forward dashes can avoid both the 64 frame and the max delayed stomp. Now the second example I have here is Cetron. You can see her evading both the slow stomp and the maximum delayed stomp, and she can do this by dashing backwards and also by dashing forward. But you have to get in the lab to practice the timing so you can get it consistently. And now I'll just show the list instead of doing the video with each character to save us some time. Now let's get into that. So as you can see here, we have the list. The first, I started with the characters that can do it step both backwards and forward to evade Sheeva's 64 frame and the 95 frame stomp. So first here we have Shang Tsung, followed by Cetron, Sub-Zero, Shao Kahn, Frost, Nightwolf, Joker, Cassie Cage, Spawn, Scorpion, Kano as well, Cabal, Scarlet, Liu Kang, Kitana, Jade, Devourer, Sheeva, Rumble, Terminator, Gears, Sindel, Melina, Rain. So these characters, both their backward dashing and forward dashing can do this. And please be aware that for these characters I'm mentioning, I'm focusing on their dashes. But if you like, you preferred like using your walk to do the two-step, you can always get into the lab with any of your character and try if your walking can walk. But for now, these are focused on the dashing to escape. Now the next list I have here is the forward step as best option. So these characters, doing the forward dash is your best way. First, yeah, I have the Baraka. Baraka's movement is very bad, so you have to be very precise with when you do your forward stepping. I have Raiding. Raiding can go both ways, but his forward is a lot more consistent, so I just suggest you do that. Collector as well, only his forward works for this. Johnny Cage can go both ways, but his forward is a lot better. Jack's forward is the way to go, but if you would like to go backwards, Jack's you can use his walking to do the backwards two step instead of dashing. Aaron Black forward is the best. Kun Lao forward is the best as well. While for Kotakon and Fujin, the forward dashes are what you use to do the two steps. So I hope you get what I'm trying to do with this list and get into the lab with your character and see how it goes. Now we're going to move on to the wave dashing section of this video. And the weakness of the two-step I just showed is, for instance, if a Sheeva player goes for a 70 or 80 frame stomp, they could clip it trying to option select 64 frame and the 94 frame stomp. But there are a few characters in this game that have nice wave dashes that can cover all possible frames of Sheeva's stomp, and both their backwards and the forward wave dash can do it. I'm just going to use Rain and Joker as an example here, but please, if you play a character to good wave dash, you can check it out, and if you're very good at wave dashing, maybe there's an escape as well. But I just want to bring this to you that wave dashing is a way of escaping stomp as well. So now we'll move on to number 4, using teleports to escape Sheeva's stomp. Personally, I play Scarlet a lot, and even her teleport has been very helpful in fighting a lot of Sheeva players since the launch of Sheeva. The thing is that when you've played this, as you're playing a player, you have to have a feel for the timing they're gonna go for and adapt to that, and that's mostly the trick to getting the teleport, to using the teleport as an escape tool. So here are the characters that have good teleports for this. Scorpion, Raiden, Kung Lao, Jade, Sheeva, Terminator, Scarlet, Gears, Collector, Melina, Central. And now we're going to move on to down to protective specials. Now, usually to get down to, if the opponent spams stomp at the same time, all you have to do is time it properly. But if they delay it, you have to wait for the screen to shift. The moment you see the screen shifting, you do your down to. It can be hard to get, but with practice you get it. At times you still miss it. The same goes for the protective specials. If they spam it at the same exact time, it's easy to get. If it's at a different time, you wait for the screen to shift, then you do it.
Depo on the beat.
So now we're on to the seventh number, which it's all about running away. So for this, use moves like Sub-Zero Slide, Radiance Teleports. There are a lot of aerial and floor moves that's anything like all those the shoulder charges. Some of Kitana's air glide, Cabal's gas in the air, his new custom like fixable move. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you guys some examples and maybe just put a list of them, but you get what the idea is. So now these are a few extra moves that I didn't show in the clip. We have Nightwolf's shoulders charge, Cascade charge, and she also has a kick now that you can use in any version you want, like in any build you want. Spawn's charge works well, Kano's ball rule, Cabal's normal dash, Liu Kang's flying kick, Jade's kick, although as we have learned at the beginning of the video, Jade can just forward walk, but you can still do the kick if you want. Terminator's running man, Melina's ball roll, Baraka's charge, or back two, although you have to time the back two and charge very well. Collector's 4-3 is also good for escaping. Johnny Cage flying kick, Jack's back 4-2, Kotakon's cuts. Also, I would show you guys a clip of Rambo's shoulder roll punishing Sheeva's drop. Also, Aaron Black has two ways of escaping. The second way, well, where you stand in his stance, you press stand into while they're dropping. You're going to see it in the clip. You have to wait for the screen to shift. The moment you notice the screen shifting, you press your stand into. You'll see it right now. Is about combining techniques. Previously I showed you guys the two-step, which involves dashing option select 64 frames and 98 frames, like Stomp. But this means, for instance, you can do a backdash, option select 64 frame, and if you do not see the Stomp, you could then go for a different technique like your down two, your protective special. You get what I'm trying to say? Like you dash back, avoid the first one, then go into a different option, or you could just do a dash back to option select 64 frame, then you could do something like a flying kick to get out of there. That way you cover a lot more different variants of her stomp. You get the idea. I'll show you some examples now. Lastly, I'm going to talk about dealing with the redirectable Sheeva stomp. Not all characters can deal with it in one move. You have to make a read. If you read, they're going to direct it both either backwards or forward. All you have to do is stand in place and let them whiff, then you punish. But I'm going to show you some characters that can deal with all versions of Sheeva stomp now. Now we are at the end of the video. Thank you all for watching. I just hope it wasn't too lengthy. Note that not every counter move was covered in this video. For instance, Rain's Evaporate is very good. And for covering different timing of the stomp, I'm very sure Kota's cards, it looks like it has enough variation to cover a lot. If I made any mistake in the video, please let me know down below in the comment section. If you have some brilliant ideas and ways of countering a stomp, you can also share it with me. And stay smooth. Thank you all for watching. See you later.
It'll be right between the eyes.
Lovely with razor.